There's just something about this top that makes it super appealing to the eyes. Could it be the stylish asymmetric neckline, the beautiful sleeve, the asymmetric hemline with keyhole, the soft gathers around one corner of the bust, or even the laced back? Whichever one it is, this top is super beautiful, and in this video, you'll be learning the pattern drafting from scratch to finish. You're going to make sure that your pattern is on fold, at least for the front pattern. Then for the back, you can do that on a single piece of paper. So we have the shoulder, we have the center back, we have the waistline, and then the blouse length. You don't need a zipper allowance for this. On the shoulder line, you're going to mark your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then you're going to go down from that point to your chest line. And on the chest line again, you're going to mark your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Just so you have a straight line, try to get your chest line too on this end, then use your ruler to mark it out like this. Next, I'm going to mark just 3 inches here, and also my 3.5 actual neck width. Then I'm going to come down here to about 2.5 for the neck depth. This is the back pattern here, and I'm going to connect it to the 3.5. Then come down here to 1 inch and connect it to the 3 inches standard neck width, and that's the shoulder slope now. Next, I'm going to measure what I have left here and get the midpoint. Once I have it, I'm going to leave it there. Then I'm going to come to the chest line and take the bust measurement divided by 4 plus at least 1 inch. At least 1 inch for ease, not your side seam allowance, just 1 inch is. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. If you want it bigger, if you want it more ruched when you lace the back, you can even do 2 inches here. Then you're going to connect the measurement. On the blouse length, you're also taking the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. But then I noticed that this waistline is too curved, so I'm trying to add about another 1 inch to it. So that's like 2 inches added to my waist measurement divided by 4 on the waistline. Or you can even decide to make it straight since you're going to ruche, but yeah, it should be contoured a bit here. Then you're going to mark your bust span, add about 1 inch to it. Let's say your bust span is 3.5, yeah, that's like 7 inches divided by 2. Then you're going to add 1 inch, making it 4.5, and then you're going to mark it here. That's where you'll be having your loops that you use to lace the back. Then I'm going to come down here to 5 inches, just here on this zip line on the side seam. Then here I'll add 2 inches to what I have there on the side and connect it like this, so that it's not just straight. Go ahead and add something to the center back. That's like the length for on the center back. And then after that, you're going to cut it out because you are pretty much done. Remember, 5 inches on the side seam, then you add 2 inches to what you marked on the side seam and mark it on the center back for the length. Now coming to the front, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 first. Then I'm going to go down to the chest line. On that point again, I'll mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then come down here to the chest line again on this end. Use my ruler to mark them out, and this is what we have. Next, I'm going to mark my 3 inches standard neck width and then the 3.5 neck width I'm working with. Then I'm going to come down here to 1.5 to slope the shoulder and connect it to the standard neck width with my ruler, just as you can see me do it here. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to measure what I have here, get the midpoint, and on that point I'll be going into 1/2 inch. Then come to the chest line and take the bust measurement divided by 4, and then I'm going to use these 3 points to get the armhole curve, and I'm doing it this exact way you can see me do it. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to come to the waistline and take the waist measurement divided by 4. There is no ease, there is no allowance yet. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4. Then on the hip line, that's where you'll be adding 1 inch to your hip measurement divided by 4, so that it will give it that flare effect. Remember, we added 1 inch to the hip measurement divided by 4 on the back pattern, yeah? So you add just 1 inch to the hip measurement divided by 4 on the front pattern. You're not doing that on the bust, you're not doing that on the waist, just on the hip. Then I marked my neck width of 3.5, and you see me using my tracing wheel to trace all these lines out. And once I'm done, I'm going to open it up, then use my pencil to mark out all the lines that you see me just traced out, so that it's just the same thing we have on the other side. Then once you are done, we are going to label it left and this part the right hand side, so that we know which part we are working with for the neckline. Now I'm going to start from the shoulder line and come down to about 7 inches here, or 7.5, depending on how low you want your neckline to be. Yeah, and then on that point, on that neck depth, you are going to come into 2 inches. Can you see that? Then here on the center, you're going to come into about 3 inches, and we already have our neck width of 3.5. So from that 3.5, I'm going to connect it to the 3 inches I have on the center, then to this neck depth on this other side. Just place your curve in a way that you're connecting the three of them once, and then once you're done on this side, you're going to switch your curve to this side to curve this other part. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to extend this line here. You see the way I place my measuring tape? Just place your ruler like that and extend it this way. Then on that point, you'll be going out to about 1 inch. From this point, you're going in 1 inch. Then now you're going to connect it this way. It's going to be slanty and not straight. Then on this new one now, I'll be coming down to about 3.5, and it's here 3.5. That will be the extension of the cape. Then here on the shoulder, 1 inch, 3.5 on the end, 1 inch on the start. Then I'll place my ruler like this. See this part that I use the exact part, so that it gives it this slight curve and not just straight. So now this is the one we are working with, and the next thing I'm going to do is to trace this out after cleaning the unwanted parts. I'm going to use this fresh paper, place it underneath. Just make sure you're using a paper that will contain all that you have here as the cape, and then once you're done, you're going to take it out and cut it out immediately. I don't need to use my pencil because I'm cutting it out now. Then once you're done cutting it out, placing it, to see what we have. Now you can decide to just tape it down like this, like place it like this and tape it down in a way that you're cutting your neckline just like that, so that you don't have to join it separately. If you want to, just place it like this and tape it down, and you know that your pattern comes like that. But you will do that after cutting out the other side of the neckline, because it's going to come as a yoke. So you're extending this part like this, and then afterwards you're going to cut it out and it's going to be separate on its own. Then you're going to place your cape like that, tape it down and cut your neckline just like that, so that you don't need to sew them separately. Now we are going to leave that side and come to this other side to complete it. And to do that, I'm going to come in here on the chest line or the armhole curve by 1.5, on the waistline 1 inch. Then coming down here, I'm going to start from the center of the paper and come into my bust span plus ½ inch. That's your nipple to nipple divided by 2. Then you add ½ inch to it, yeah, and mark it. So now that now will be the line we'll be working with. Now I'm going to connect all of these lines, the 1.5 I have on the armhole curve, the 1 inch on the waistline, down to the bust span divided by 2 plus ½ inch here on the blouse length. Then on both sides of this line, I'll be marking 1.25, 1.25 on this side and 1.25 on this other side. Then I'm going to start from the waistline and come down to about 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on the distance you want it to be from your belly button. Then I'm going to connect it on both sides in a dart form, this exact way you see me do it, and that's the opening we have on the blouse. So now on this side, I'm going to start from the hip measurement, the already existing hip measurement, and go out to 2 inches and connect it to the waistline. Then I'm going to extend this line. Then I'll come down to 5 inches, the same 5 inches we use for the back here. I'll come down 5 inches there and take it to this 1.25 I have here. Then I'll also come to this other side, come down to 5 inches, and that will be the length for the side, yeah, and place my curve like this and take it all the way to the other 1.25 we have on this side. And yeah, this is what the blouse is looking like. I'm supposed to clean the unwanted lines, but I'm simply going to cut it out so that you see the one we are going for, and see how I'm cutting this, because that's the exact way you're going to cut it so that it gives you the same effect. So I'm going to cut it out just this exact way, and on these lines you see me doing it. And right after cutting this out, you're going to keep this other smaller one safe, and the yoke, the other part of the neckline safe, because you will need that later. Now to work with this one, I'm going to come up here to 2 inches from the waistline upwards, 2 inches, measuring from the bust point line to that point. Whatever it is I have, I'm going to mark it also on this other end, just so I have a straight line. Then I'll use my ruler to connect it like this. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to come down here. This is the armhole curve here. I'll come down to 1 inch and also take it like this. And you see how I slanted my ruler. Just connect it slanty, this exact way you see mine going. I'm trying to use my marker to highlight it, just so you see that this two lines is the one we are working for the slash and spread that we'll be doing. I'll measure what I have on this center part, and then also measure what I have here. I'll divide all of them into the how many lines that I'm working with. Let's say I'm working with 4 lines. I'm going to divide whatever it is I measured on this center one into 4, then divide what I measured on this side into 4 too, and then mark them. So I'm going to connect them, and you see that the one on the center is slightly bigger than the space we have on the side. Can you see? So after you're done, you're going to slash like this exact way you see me do it. Just slash this in the same direction, but do not cut it all out. Then you're going to spread to the amount you want to have on that pleat you see around one corner of the bust here. That's how much you're going to spread here. If you want it fuller, just spread as much as you want. But mine, I want just minimal, just as it is on the thumbnail. So I'm doing just spreading by just 4 inches, and whatever it is I spread here, that's what I'm going to use for all of them. Just watch. So after spreading to the amount that I'm comfortable working with, which I said is 4 inches, I'm going to tape it down with my masking tape, just so it does not shift from the paper. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to also slash this other line, then slash in this direction. Do not cut it all out, and then you're going to spread it. Yeah, I will spread like this. Remember I said that 4 inches is what I will share in between these lines that we marked here. Once I slash, I'm going to spread, making sure that I'll still have something left to spread with this other two. Do you understand? I'll slash this other one the same direction you see me do it, and then this is the last one. I'll slash this way in this direction, spread it, and then tape it down. And that's how we distributed the 4 inches spread we did on the first one. And that's how you're going to have that minimal plate, very stylish one on this side. Now I'm going to connect from here to this point with my straight ruler, just exact way you see me do it. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be cutting this out, because that's pretty much about it. I'm going to cut this excess paper out here, then come to this neckline. For the neckline, you can decide to add a paper to it, but first let's measure what we have here, which is not even necessary. The fact that you're going to start 2 inches here, yeah, from your waistline upwards, you see, measure what you have there, then you are also coming down here 1 inch. So that's how much you need to pleat. Yeah, but then you're going to do this on this other smaller one. That's where you are going to mark where you start and where you stop pleating. So 2 inches from the waistline upwards, then 1 inch from the armhole. That's what you're going to do, so that you know that this is the space you need to pleat the excess you have on this bigger pattern on. So 1 inch here, and then from the waistline you are coming up to about 3 inches, because of where we started spreading on this bigger pattern. So you measure what the space you have there, and you see that this is the exact space you need to pleat the excess fabric you have on the bigger pattern on. Do you understand? Now for the sleeve, you're going to get your fabric or your paper, depending on the one you want to use. Just make sure you have enough to get you the whole length of the sleeve. So from the top, you're measuring down to your elbow line to your wrist length. Then from the wrist length, you're adding extra 4 to 5 inches for it to cover your hand to the extent you see it on the thumbnail. Then next, you're going to measure what you usually use to fold out your sleeve, and that's the line you're seeing here. Next, you're going to come down to what you use to cover out your basic sleeve and give it that curve. Then on the elbow length, you're marking your elbow circumference divided by 2 plus half inch is. Then you go to your wrist length and mark your wrist circumference divided by 2 plus half inch is. Then on this down part, you're marking your wrist circumference divided by 2 plus 3 inches extra. so that it gives it that flare effect you see on the sleeve. Now we are going to be connecting the measurements, but then I forgot to measure the wrist. So I'm coming up here to about 5 inches, and then on that point I will be marking the wrist circumference divided by 2 plus half inch is, and connect it to the elbow length the same way you see me do it. Then connect from that point to the wrist measurement divided by 2 plus 3 inches that I have on the sleeve length. Then you're going to come up to about 1 inch and give it this slight curve you see mine here. And that's pretty much about it for the sleeve. I'm going to be cutting it out, and after cutting it out, you can see that it looks like the sleeve you are trying to draft out. So you're cutting this on fold, and then you're cutting two of it for your two hands. Do you understand? So we have the sleeve pattern, and then we have this bigger pattern which you're cutting one of it, then this other side one of it, and this is the back pattern which you're cutting on fold here, and then you're going to slash it on this line here because that's where you'll be fixing your loops for your lacing. So yeah, I'm trying to cut it out this way, and then you're going to like slash it there, and yeah, like I say, that's where your loop will be going to. You slash it to the point where you want it to stop, which should be about 5 inches from your waistline upwards, 5 or 6 inches, so that it also helps lace the bust area. Do you understand? I'm not just focusing on the waist. The bust area should also look fitted as you see it on the thumbnail. And this part I'm marking is where you're likely to fix your loops for the lacing effect. So we have the back pattern, and yeah, that's how you're going to transfer all of them to the fabric. You're cutting the back pattern on unfold, and then for this one you're going to place it as you see it like this on the right side of your fabric and cut it out so that the neckline comes out on the side we have it here on the pattern. The same with this other side piece, and then we have the yoke which you're cutting one of it. And then for the cape, I could not find it here, but yeah, you're also supposed to have the cape to complete the pattern. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this particular tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you on my next one. Bye bye.